there, welcome or welcome back to Oops, I Planted Again. My name is Courtney, and in today's video we're gonna do a plant haul. I haven't done one, I think, in like 2 months. I think my first plant haul was in August that I posted, so it's been a little while. I haven't gotten as many plants as I did in that haul, but I have gotten a few that I want to share with you today, and I've got my first more expensive plants this month in the last like two weeks. And I want to share kind of like what I want to do with them, how I'm planning on growing them, and things of that nature. So let's dive right in. So the first plant we have is this Rehab Black Velvet Alocasia. You may be wondering why it's in such a huge jar. It actually had a bunch of leaves that were dying. This plant wasn't doing well, and I actually got this Rehab from somebody who came to a plant pop-up that I did last month, and we were just chatting it up, and they were talking about their alocasia, how it wasn't doing well. And I actually got this 2 weeks ago and have not repotted it. I will repot it, but I've just kind of been isolating it and letting it chill, because, you know, I do a 2-week at least isolation period, which this one has surpassed it. So it was 3 other leaves. They were already browning, they weren't doing well. I knew they were gonna fall off, but this is the newest leaf that is doing rather well. And then it has another one growing right there. And I think I'm gonna do a whole video on how I care for alocasias. I have about 5 or 6, I think. And I feel like I have finally kind of gotten to a place where I feel comfortable caring for these plants, because they can be a little bit finicky. Not that they're super hard to care for, they just have, they're not a plant that you can just like leave alone. You have to like pay attention to these or they'll die. So I think I'm gonna do a whole care video on how I care for my alocasias. But as far as things go for this one, I'm gonna repot it into a smaller pot, give it a preventative treatment like I usually do, and then just watch this baby grow. So this one is a silver satin Skindapsis that I actually got at the plant pop-up from another seller. Me and another seller decided to split one because it was rather big. So I have 3 actual pieces that I cut up and propagate that I have. This one is growing the newest leaf. So what I already did, like I said, I split into 3 pieces what I could and potted them individually into smaller containers. So I have all of them. I think they're all in soil. One has a little bit of a moss mixture in it as well. And I'm just letting these grow. For me, these plants grow really easily. And I even have some, not these, I have Exotica that are propagated in water because I kind of just wanted to try it out, and they're also doing rather well. Care for Skindapsis for me has been fairly easy. I think the only issue that I've run into in the past with Skindapsis is light requirements. So most of mine I have under grow lights. I have one that's in my bedroom that I'm hoping will survive, but I'll keep you updated on that one. So this one was the silver satin Skindapsis. Next we have Hoya Hindu rope. I actually had cuttings of these from a long time ago when I did a Reddit trade. I haven't done any Reddit trading in a while, in a very long time. And this is a plant that I really like. I like Hoyas. I've always liked this crinkly one. I just think it looks really cool, and it came in a hanging basket, which I do have. And this is the only thing that I have for hanging plants. I'm just kind of nervous about hanging things like in my ceilings because, well, one, I'm renting, but besides that, my ceilings are tall. They're not like in any house that I've been in before, so I would have to get on a ladder and like do all this measuring, all this stuff. I just don't know if I have the energy, so I'm kind of looking for different ways to hang plants. This is one of the solutions that I have, and I got this from IKEA, and it's just like a clothes hanger. But I want to kind of look at other options as well. But yes, I just went off a tangent, but this is the Hoya Hindu rope. Next one is Neon Pothos. This is like my 3rd one this year. I love Neon Pothos. I just think they look so fucking cool. I love this plant. I feel like Pothos is very self-explanatory. I love them. I have cuttings everywhere. I have plants that I've had in my store. I love them. I think they look beautiful and bushy, but I didn't have like a big one like I used to have. So I just bought another one because it's cute. I mean, it's a Neon Pothos. Out of all of the Pothos that I do have, I feel like this one is the hardest to care for. Not hardest to care for, but the one that I've run into the most trouble with. I just feel like it's a little bit finicky. I will say I do like with Pothos that you can really tell when they need water because they'll look limp as hell and then they come back to life. But yeah, I don't know what it is about Neon Pothos that I've had the most trouble with. I don't know what it is. but I think they look cool and I had to get a big basket of one. Next is one of the more expensive plants that I've bought recently, and this is a Gloriosum. This is the leaf that's dying off. I actually got these, I got these online from a plant seller, and I have never bought plants online. I always get plants locally. I think because I'm the type of person where I'm not searching for specific plants. So locally, if I see like a purge or I'm on Marketplace or I'm just like at a store, like I'll just buy like, oh, I like this, I buy it, and then I go home and see how to take care of it. So I'm never actively looking for certain types of plants. I think that's why I've never purchased any in the past. But this seller is somebody that I'm friends with on TikTok. So I saw that they were having a purge on TikTok and I wanted to, you know, support them and see what they had. And they had a Gloriosum. Now, if you've seen a previous video of mine, it might have been a plant haul. It might have been my first plant haul where I have a dark form Gloriosum, and I love that plant. I think it's beautiful, and it's finally developing its second leaf, and it's so gorgeous. So I wanted to buy another one. I just think they look so good. And this leaf is dying off, but like how big this is, like mine is not this big yet. So I'm excited to have this one for my personal collection. It's already working on its second leaf. Needs a bit of watering, but she's gorgeous. This one is a Rehab, and it's a Forgetty Eye. Now this is my first Forgetty Eye, and I actually I've seen these around before, and I just think they look so gorgeous, but they were out of the budget that I wanted to spend for this type of plant. So when I saw there was a Rehab one, I decided to take my chances. Worst thing it can do is die, but it's in moss, and I think that if I put it in my greenhouse, it'll be easier to maintain. And I think I talked about this in my last video, or the video before the last one, where it's easier for me to maintain things that are in moss inside of my little greenhouse buckets than it is to just have them on a shelf. So I think I'm gonna keep this in moss because that's the way that it came when it was shipped to me. And I'm excited to see it grow. I've never worked with this plant before, so I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen with it. Next we have a little Varicosum chunk. I actually won this because there was a game on the TikTok purge and I won, so I got a little Varicosum chunk. I actually already have a Varicosum. I think it's in my windowsill. It's been in its own little greenhouse. I honestly need to check on it, but I isolated it because it had mealybugs on it, and I've kind of just left it alone. So I'm interested to see what this one will be like. I think I will keep it isolated just because of a preventative, and it makes me feel more comfortable. This is in moss. There's no drainage in this though, which I'm not too worried about with moss, and it's a chunk, so we're just gonna keep an eye on this. Now we have this Crystallinium Hybrid. What is that? Is this dirt? Oh, it's dirt. It's just dirt. Okay. We have a Crystallinium Hybrid. Actually, somebody asked me what kind this was on TikTok, and I wasn't sure, but somebody said it's probably Magnificum, which is really fucking awesome. I have never had one of these before, and I just saw it and I was like, should I get it? And I'm like, why not? Let's get it. Let's try. The leaves are really soft. I really like soft velvety leaves. I'm still looking into care for this plant, and I will say I really like the medium that it's in. It looks like horticultural. I don't think I'm saying that right. I don't know if I am. Oh, what is that stuff called? The black stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. And some perlite and some rocks and some leca. I'm not even sure that there's any soil in this medium. So I may have to focus on keeping this, being mindful of how I am hydrating this plant. This one needs to be repotted. It came in this can, and it's a Philodendron campo. I actually had a cutting of this that I got in a tree a long time ago, and it died. And now I have another one. The roots are super, super long, and it's already working on its next leaf. I literally need to put this in a pot like this weekend. I have to do it. Also because I know that it needs support. It's really bending over, which I know is not great for the plant. So I just need to do it. Another one I forgot to mention is this Cebu Blue. I've had like a million of these baskets of Cebu Blue. I've had big ones, I've had cuttings that have grown into huge baskets, all this stuff. I just always buy them. I like them. They're pretty. I like them. They're self-explanatory to me. It's my favorite pothos. And last but not least is my Philodendron bibimfolium aurea. Now this is my first expensive plant that I've ever gotten, that I've ever worked with. and I kind of just went out on a limb with it, and I feel like it's gonna work out rather well. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. The seller of this plant did say they did have a little bit of trouble with root rot. So I think I'm going to transfer it to soil, because I have a bibimfolium already that's doing really, really well. I kind of just, I'm looking at it right now, I kind of just leave it alone, to be honest with you, and it seems to be growing rather well. I've never worked with an Hoya either, but care for that one has been really easy. Water regularly, check it for pests. I mean, that's pretty much it. And that one is under a grow light. This one is obviously too big for the grow light setup that I do have, so it would probably be on a shelf, and I think I will keep it in my plant room, just to make sure that, you know, it's well taken care of. But yeah, this is my first expensive plant, and the person did say they air layered it, so I can propagate it, but I'm just not ready yet. But I've never tried air layering, and I want to continue air layering because I think it could be cool, and I want to know how that is going to work with me and how I like to grow things. But yes, this is bibimfolium Hoya, very, very cool. And these are the newest leaves. This one was on, these were both kind of in there and growing, and now they're out. I think I've had this for about 2 weeks now. And that is all for my recent plant haul, plants that I have been getting over the last couple of weeks that I wanted to share with you. Now I want to know in the comments below, what has been your favorite or most recent plant that you've gotten or welcome into your collection. I want to thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.